So there's no intro because I thought that I had our new intro here, but I don't. And since we've been here last, we've all been separated, but by various things going on in our lives. I got a new phone. You know that the apps like it doesn't transfer over, and then you go to log into it, and then you're like, oh, I haven't logged into this. So anyway, long story short, all these logos and everything I've spent literally days on are like not there anymore. So yes. But how is everybody doing real quick?
Fine.
Fine.
Pretty good.
I don't
Very
remember
good.
how to. I don't remember how to do this. So good. It's fine.
Good. No, so Jordan was making a comment about my hair. I don't think these are my aviators. No, I just grabbed them. They're not my aviators, but I grabbed them for the occasion as we talk about summer movies, and I'm sure we'll talk about a bunch of other things. I can't see. I'm sorry, I just can't see. But the big topic is Top Gun Maverick is coming out tomorrow. Richard disappeared. He'll be back.
I'm still here though. I'm
He's
just
still there.
I'm scratching my nose. I realize.
But yeah, Top Gun Maverick, it's getting rave reviews already. I know a lot of people are so excited to see this movie. Literally delayed 2 years, right? It was supposed to come out in 2020. I believe it was supposed to be a July 4th movie, like a July 4th.
Yeah, right
weekend.
around this time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then COVID happened, right? And as we've seen and we hear more and more about Tom Cruise, who has a very strong personality, a lot of influence in the movie world, as we all know. It's Tom, and probably for good reason, was like, nope, things are starting to clear up. 2021, I'm still not feeling it. I don't want to do the whole streaming thing. We'll get into more Tom Cruise stuff as we go on. But real quick, I just want to have some fun with this because I'm curious where you two are at. I am a huge Tom Cruise fan. I always say to Monica and anybody else who's listening to me, which is, I'm not
Just
sure who's
Mon-
listening
just
when I
Monica.
talk. Yeah, just Monica. Exactly. I was thinking. In my opinion, the greatest action movie star of all time. Reason being, just his stunts are ridiculous. Right? He strapped himself to the airplane. He did that jump out of the C-130 in Mission Impossible Fallout. Has been doing his own motorcycle stunts for quite some time now. I'm hearing that he
Did you
really
forget
mentored. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, did you forget about free climbing the Burj?
Right. Okay. See, and like and that seems to be like a trend, right? A Mission Impossible trend is that Tom Cruise has to do one absolutely ridiculous stunt that he really did himself. And then as we're all seeing in the trailers, and if you watch the behind scenes, these actors in Top Gun Maverick are strapped into these airplanes in some capacity, these fighter jets. The directors and the producers are talking about how Tom Cruise really mentored the younger actors and actresses because they had to get used to the G-force because they are in these fighter jets making these flips and stuff. So that's my little rant because I'm sure we'll touch on the Scientology stuff as we go along and all that the other things that have happened, but yeah, sometimes though I feel like I'm afraid to be like, yeah, I like Tom Cruise because I'm not sure if somebody's going to be like, dude, but the Scientology and this and that. So I just kind of, sometimes I say it, sometimes I don't. It depends on who my audience is.
And that's the crux of so many of the conversations that we have here. And and again, it's its own topic all its own.
Exactly.
And it really it's funny. I was thinking about it like I really want us to be able to just have a fun conversation one day where we don't always have to kind of do this little, But that being said, it really becomes a thing where, are you able to look, and that's the idea. If you are able to separate Tom Cruise, and that's the thing. If you read the history of Tom Cruise, if you read about Scientology, if you read about different things, and you say to yourself, yeah, none of that throws me off, then
Yeah.
But again, so like Leah Remini will have if she was here with us right now, would have an entirely different opinion. Other I'm sure Nicole Kidman would have, and Katie Holmes would have different opinions of him
For sure.
And it's that kind of thing. It's like any of the millions of people we've discussed on our podcast. Like John Mulaney was getting some heat this week for having Dave Chappelle come up and do a little bit with him. But I just watched John Mulaney and Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. And, I think he's really funny. Like, I think John Mulaney's funny. It's that kind of thing. If you just gotta, it's like anything. You just gotta, you can objectively say, I enjoyed Tom Cruise's movies.
Yeah.
People who would sit and be screaming out as loud as possible railing against people work for Woody Allen in movies, and a lot of people think, so yeah, I think it's an okay thing to say what you want. If we find out he's a convicted, rapist tomorrow, and and then you're like, okay, like that's not, it's not great. But yeah, I know I'm jumping ahead, but it's always interesting because you hear people like, he's just a douche. I don't like him, and you just give me more.
Right.
Give me more than he's just a douche. Like give me like, in 1997, he caused the whole family to go bankrupt because he refused to, let them out of their dues from, like, so.
Right. No, I was thinking the same thing and then I'll let Jordan talk. Maybe.
Please.
No, I'm just kidding. But like I said, sometimes I really read, or I really read my audience before I say like, oh yeah, Tom Cruise. Just for the sake of, I try to keep an open mind, but I just don't want to go back and forth because if I know that you're somebody who's going to be like, well, bro, remember the time you jumped up and down the couch with Oprah? And I'm just going to be like, yeah, but, he didn't like burn a house with a family in it. Like,
right. If him jumping up and down is the problem, like, yeah, okay. But
right. Jordan.
But I was going to say, like, everyone has like, I mean, I think all of us could have a share experience of that first time watching Mission Impossible and first time watching Top Gun. It was obviously being Impressive Boys. It was a great movie, and you like kind of fanboy. And you're like, oh, he's great as ever. And then like as you get older, you watch these people mature and take different turns in their life, and you're like, maybe I'm different. I mean, again, him doing that like weird kind of early 2000s type of thing where like a lot of stars made that kind of transition or had like almost midlife crisis type situation where like Britney Spears shaved her head and lost her mind and everyone thought of her differently. I mean, it's the same thing, but it started off kind of like, him and Nicole Kidman got divorced and he got married to Katie Holmes and was like, it just seemed like he was generally really excited and he was just like a really like outgoing guy about it. And then you're like, oh, he's locking up his daughter and in their house and he joined Scientology and now he signed like $1 billion contract with them and you're like, all this is kind of weird and murky. And then like kind of everyone he kind of faded into like obscurity for a little bit, still doing some good movies, but like wasn't to like the top of his game like he was in the early 90s. And now I feel like he's got back to that point because the movie industry has changed so much where people are craving like different stories or at least something different from, which, again, I'm not saying in a negative way. We all enjoy Marvel and DC, but those are the big bread, like box office movies that are coming out. To have something that doesn't have anything to do with a comic book or superhero story, people are looking for something different. And he's taking us back to an era that I think everyone is very interested for the big blockbuster film. And again, Top Gun is a classic for a reason. And if this movie is as good as they're saying it is, it's, he's cemented himself other generations kind of lexicon.
Yeah. I was thinking to myself, like, Tom Cruise, apparently like doing little research and here and there. I don't know, Jordan and Richard are fortunate enough to be able to see my stories where everything's been Danger Zone and Top Gun the last couple of weeks. But one thing I was thinking about, and Richard and I have talked about a few times, and now Jordan's here, so he'll be part of this conversation. We always talk about we lived, you, Jordan, me, Richard, and so anybody else if you're in your, if you're not in your early 20s and lower, you lived through that era where you watched television, right? It wasn't streaming services. And we all know that at this time, or even last Monday, if this was like mid 90s, early 2000s, we would be watching TV. Boom, in 5 days, Tom Cruise return something just to get you hyped up. And yeah. I really feel like this is like a big summer movie coming our way. And obviously a lot of people who were at the what do you call it? The screening of it at the Cannes Film Festival, they love Tom Cruise. It's like a 5-minute standing ovation. And, he gave apparently a very powerful speech. And I'm putting all these pieces together because I'm going to wrap it up by saying, any way you cut it, He's been an A-list actor. Somebody, one of the authors of an article wrote, "There's Mission Impossible. Just keep going. Everybody loves them, right?" So if you say you don't like Tom Cruise, you're probably watching his movies because Mission Impossible has managed to get this far. Long story short, he's a movie icon. It's like him, it's Sly, it's Schwarzenegger, it's all the other ones, and they're like part of that era where you're like, damn, like you are action movies. You were action movies, and I think he deserves that respect, and I think that's one of the reasons he got that standing ovation.
Yeah, I mean, especially for Cannes. I mean, normally you see movies that are very artistic or not your classic blockbuster, and they get a standing ovation like that. It says a lot.
That gave me pause. I was like, that seems weird. It seems like that's not, like that's usually where, some foreign movie that we haven't heard of or the next Oscar movie is going to be. So, but yeah, the beginning of summer already happened with Doctor Strange. And that's a movie that's getting, like, it's funny. It's getting panned, and it's got like a B+ score. Like, it's the lowest scored. But again, 50-50. If you kind of listen to people or see people's reaction online with Doctor Strange, it's very much like, yeah, it didn't do it for me, or it wasn't great, or oh, I loved it. All I'm seeing with Top Gun right now is positive reviews. So, like like a great action movie, action done right. I don't want to use the word skeptical, so but I need to see what the storyline is. Like, I need to see what the threat is.
Yeah,
like I'm really, because just rewatching Top Gun the other night, which Shanna had never seen, and it is one of those things. Like Jordan had said earlier, like yeah, it's one of those iconic movies when you grow up with it. It works. And Shanna watching it for the first time is like a 43-year-old woman. She was just like, and it's funny because she kind of caught it halfway through. And it's just like, I can't remember her name right now. Kelly McGinnis. Kelly.
Yeah.
Kelly McGillis.
Apparently, she lives in Medford.
Does she? Okay. So
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So Kelly, like, she analyzes his flying, and then tries to talk to him, and he leaves on his bike. She gets in her car and chases him down, running red lights, all these things. And it was really funny because she was like, what the F is this? And then they're making out, and he's put his tongue down her throat. And then they're just hanging out and all these things. And she's like, what is this corny ass movie? I was like, all right, we got to watch and then she fell asleep and I'm watching it. And for 1980 something, the jet scenes are amazing.
Yeah.
And again, it's just it hits you, and then Goose, everything happens with Goose, and but again, I'm watching it through the eyes of I watched it when I was 13 or 14 at the first time, and so that's what I'm excited to see it, but so curious what the story is. Who is I guess the Russians could be the bad guy again, but they wrote it 3 years ago, so
I mean,
yeah,
yeah, it's always the
right.
Russians.
He's put North Korea flags on the back of the
right, but
plane.
Right, that's why it took an extra few months to come out, because he was just CGI that all.
So real quick, we have a few people chiming in. I got my wife here. She wants to do another This Is Us.
It's wrapping up tomorrow night.
I can't even start talking about it because I have some things I want to say. It'll take us in a completely different direction, but we will circle back on that because I know Richard has been a long-time fan. He's got
we're waiting tomorrow night. Very excited to see it finally wrap up.
And Mr. Tim Morea, British Tim, I know it's better from the tropes in the Hot Shot movies.
I mean, yeah, the tropes in Hot Shot are dead on.
One thing I think, or a few things I think is worth noting, is that Richard, Monica saw it for the first time because it's on Netflix. So I'm right there with you along the lines of, we have to see it, but we're going to see it. So you need to watch the first one. But kind of the same things was coming out of Monica's mouth. Why do they keep playing this song? Because it's a damn 90 movies. It's Danger Zone, and it's amazing, and it just goes with every single scene that's coming up, right? A few things are a little repetitive like that, and I was thinking that, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, that was the 90s, right? You got a killer song, you kind of put it in the background wherever you could in the movie, and you kind of just rolled with it. And to this day, you know, Danger Zone is just an awesome song. I listen to it like I think probably once or 10 times a week.
1986. It was a 1986 trope. Yeah.
No,
Your parents weren't even discussing you yet, Ryan.
Yeah.
So.
no, but it's so funny because like the theme for 90s movies is like, yeah, we're gonna play one movie throughout the whole one song throughout the whole movie. Have like this, you know, best friend type situation, and then they're gonna pay some tragic cost, and then somehow they're gonna, you know, somehow there's gonna be a happy ending.
Yeah.
Or there's like learned out of it.
Yeah, spoilers for people who have never seen Top Gun. Like, his best friend dies, and they're sitting there going like, "We got to get him back up in a plane." Like, first off, even if his friend didn't die, like they crashed, like their plane blew up, like, you know, like, and it literally is like, it's been 3 days. Like, I'm not getting back in a plane, maybe ever.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was thinking, you know, they when he goes before the board of the admirals and the music, the whole like the 80s, you know, it's like getting ready for a montage and like the whole thing again. I was just like,
oh God.
that definitely like that wouldn't fly with audiences today. And so I imagine that they have made some changes for Top Gun Maverick.
And I know this next part I'm saying. Sorry, go ahead, Jared.
No, I'm sorry. Now they're like, oh, you need a mental health day. Back in 80s.
Right, no, right. But it's interesting because from the previews, it looks like, you know, he's going to be a maverick. You know, he's flying in between their planes and being all crazy. But like, I'm watching this going like, is there no better way to train? Like, they're up there, like, I guess, but that's what you have to do. You have to train that way. But my like scared ass was like, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. Like, they're doing all these crazy maneuvers, you know. So
yeah,
I mean, again, it pays off. I mean, it pays off at the end, but I was like, yeah, though, I would just be doing it. And I'm wondering what it's like in 2022. Like, how much actual airtime do you do? How much simulation time do you do? I'm guessing you have to do. We're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
We're going to find out this program. But it is neat. Like, I am excited that it looks like Miles Teller is going to play Goose's son. You know, so that part that seems neat, and it looks like he probably holds a grudge against Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Monica was like, he kind of looks like Goose.
So this is an interesting thing.
Who went to go become a doctor.
Right, who went to become and then also and then tragically died in Hawaii by himself.
Yeah.
But so 1986, and again, I don't know if they're going to throw away dates, but 1986, Goose's son is like 3 or 4 years old, sitting there with them
at the piano and everything.
And so 1980, so he's like 40 in this movie.
Oh,
so I think they're probably going to play with time a little bit because Tom Cruise's character should be like the Navy should not be letting a 57, 60-year-old guy, you know, fly. I would think they wouldn't let him fly that, but I don't know.
I was actually just thinking as soon as you said that they could do the whole, what my mom never told you was that she was pregnant with me.
Yeah, no,
that's my dad. You know, and like Maverick never even knew about him or anything like that.
Or no, but I'm hoping for a little bit of reality. It's like Tom Cruise playing like you lost that loving feeling while he's like putting Rogaine in his hair in the mirror. He's like just like I got it, I still got it, everybody.
I want to say something real quick because I wanted to. He's no longer with us. Top Gun, awesome movie. As we keep talking, directed by Tony Scott, I believe, committed suicide. He had terminal cancer, and I believe it was he had terminal cancer. Just drove through a gated off area in like the Grand Canyon or California, somewhere like that. It was a mountain area, and just leaped. Right, it was terminal cancer, and it's weird to say, but from Tony Scott's films like Top Gun and all these adrenaline movies, Taking of Pelham, just a list of movies that are very not really plot thick, right? More action based, more just in your face, just going everywhere, fast paced. It seemed like a fit, like I wasn't surprised. I was like, yeah, that kind of seems like something Tony Scott would, do. Like, nope, not gonna let this cancer. And I'm not promoting suicide in this matter. That's what I'm saying. But I remember just being like, wow, this is a loss. His brother is Ridley Scott. So, but definitely made an impact on cinema. I mean, he gave us Top Gun and a number of other films. And then one thing I wanted to talk about was, it seems like they recognized that they had to set the bar very high for this film, right? Because you had Top Gun, and like Richard was saying, you watch it, and I'm sure those were amazing shots for 1986 with those fighter jets, right? They're real fighter jets, obviously. And by today's standards, obviously, they're not great. But then came Independence Day, right? That was a film where it was all dogfighting in the sky. There wasn't any, machine guns or going into buildings and clearing them. And I just remember just falling in love with Independence Day. And suddenly I liked F-18s and I was looking up airplanes and all that other stuff. But, you're bringing back Top Gun. You're coming back after all this time. It seems like they were like, we really, really have to make an impression with what we do here. And I'm like really excited to see how all this plays out, especially with them in the fighter jets. That will be interesting to see.
Now, there's definitely some behind the scenes stuff that'll probably be pretty interesting. I just caught a clip of someone who worked for the Navy, and he's like, and then when we were like, okay, what kind of drones are you going to be using? And they're like, oh no, we're not filming with drones. We'll be up there, we'll be up there in the planes flying, filming this, like, so yeah. And again, like, it's dangerous, and I know Tom's suffered a couple injuries over the years, but yeah, it will look great because it's actually him in that cockpit. It'll look great because it's them actually flying and being, so just really need to see the plot, and how it goes. But again, I'm really, I would tell you that if we were doing this 2 weeks ago, I'm not sure if I'm making it, And I'm not a first, I'm like, Ryan's going tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going for Top Gun Tuesday.
Ryan's going tomorrow. Like, I'm more going to fall into I'm going to catch it. I want to catch it at some point because I also feel like it's a need to see on a big screen. With that, yeah, and maybe with like the Dolby surround seats, like your seats shaking, that kind of experience. So.
Yeah,
we will play a game. We will play a game later where I'll name like the top 10 or so summer movies, and we'll play seeing it, skipping it. Wait, like we'll play a little game like that. But we'll just, since we're talking about it, for Top Gun, like I will. Yeah, I'm not going this week, but when I can, I want to pop in. And again, I also know Shanna's not going to go with me, so it can kind of be like, all right, Saturday morning when she's doing something, I can go jump in and see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. As much as I want my wife to see it, I know she's probably has no interest. I know my dad is probably, gung-ho about it because he was actually stationed in California when they filmed Top Gun around military base as well. So he's always had like a crazy love affair with that movie. And he always like looks, he's like, yeah, I was in the background or like, this is filmed in the same thing. This is where this building was. So, and I love that. I love that the little bit of nostalgia for like at least my dad and I. But Ryan, I agree with you. Like it's just something about growing up when you're watching, Top Gun, and it just goes right into Independence Day. It was those two movies. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fly F-16s, and as
I'm gonna be a pilot one day.
I'm not doing that at all. Those two movies got you so amped for it, especially Independence Day. I mean. When Will Smith punches the aliens, says "Welcome to Earth," that's easy. One of like the best movie lines ever.
I'll be the guy to say it. I was surprised there wasn't more of that mixed in with the whole Chris Rock thing after that.
No, seriously, like that was like 25 years of foreshadowing. but I'm excited about it. I'm going to just do the same things, Richard. I'm going to figure out. I'm not going to see it day one. That's a much. But I definitely
it's not too much.
Go see it.
Hey, you guys expect nothing less.
No, but
I expect nothing less from that. But I feel like I agree with Richard about seeing it in a movie theater and getting a full experience of it. I mean, I feel like this is the movie that is going to draw some people that have been usually just watching stuff at home and streaming to go to the movie theaters to go see. Because I mean, again, I love streaming and watching movies and watching like things in the comfort of my home. I can relax and not to hear kids in front of us yelling and screaming like we like during the Batman. I can
Oh,
or I can rewind something again because I missed something, a really crucial detail, because I'm one of those obsessive like movie nuts. But to get the full experience, it's nothing like it. So you do have to go see it eventually in theaters.
Yeah, there's one thing I realized I do probably now more than ever, and then I know I'm going to try to take us into a little bit of a mini conversation to see where everybody's at. One thing I make it a point to do more recently is if there's a movie I want to see and I'm excited about it because I do love movies like all of us here, but movies it's like me sometimes it's just like I can't wait, right? And I know that some of you are like Marvel, most things. Richard, you're there like opening day for most Marvel things, right?
For most things, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it's like I'm telling work, like, listen, I'm not gonna like I'll be here during the day, but at night, like I have tickets for this, right? And it's something like I look forward to and I'm excited about, as we all know, was there with Batman, seeing it with you guys. Very excited about Top Gun, haven't shut up about it even at work. But with that being said, 2 years, it was a long 2 years. Cinema was up and down, went through a lot of trials and tribulations, stayed strong. I am freaking ready to get back into movie theater mode, summer movies, and like I'm ready to just kick things off. Where's everybody at?
I don't know. I'm kind of half-half. I mean, as much as I feel like I'm going to be more selective about that movie experience. I mean, I'm not going to go see every single thing that's available just because I can, and enjoying my lovely nights and weekends will be availability now because I haven't been able to do that in years. But I feel like I'm going to be more selective because I want to be able to treasure the experience, and the rest I know is going to come to streaming eventually. So there isn't a real rush to go see everything and all and everything. But to be able to see that big blockbuster movie, or see like a movie that you've been waiting for the sequel to come out, or maybe an exciting story told. I mean, then yeah, of course I'll go see it in theaters and geek out, and then we'll talk about it here. Talk about it on here.
So Tom Cruise has a problem with you because you like streaming.
No, I like streaming, but
no, I'm kidding.
No, but I was going to bring that up, and I was going to bring that up, because shockingly, there's no linear following to our podcast here as we go back and forth. But so when I heard Tom Cruise's, and that's the thing, I didn't hear him. I heard other people reading his quote from, there was no way I was going to let this, be on streaming. Like it needed to be in the movie theater. Like that is, I guarantee, one of those lines that you can hear. Like people who hate Tom Cruise heard it one way, and other people. What's Tim saying?
You said Ryan, you're glib.
And then the other, or then other people who are like, yeah, no, he just meant like, I don't know if he was shitting on streaming. I think he was just trying to saying this is a movie that needed to be in theaters, because but here's the thing. And again, he could afford to wait the 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, he could afford that. Like the Black Widow discussion, like if Black Widow waited, and it turned out like Doctor Strange was supposed to be a year ago. It worked out waiting a year, and everybody kind of bumped around, like if we had waited and we were watching Black Widow now, as it turns out, knowing the story, it totally would have been fine. But would that mean Hawkeye had to wait? Like, says thing. And for me, like I was fine watching Black Widow on TV. I didn't feel like I missed something. I watched Eternals on TV, albeit with British Tim, who has a really nice. If I can, for one of our listeners, Tim Maria, there, he puts speakers underneath the couch.
Oh yeah, that's badass, Tim.
No, it's very badass. Yeah, like, and again, he'll probably write in and go, "They're not called speakers; they're called
subs."
It's
I could be wrong,
but honestly, we were watching Eternals, and there's different parts where like planets are moving and big spaceships are moving, and I was like, I don't want to say queasy, but I was a little like, all right, this is pretty badass. I'm like, because I don't like roller coasters. I'm like, I'm feeling a little, I'm a bit of a wuss, but again, not everybody has that experience. So, but like, I have no interest in. I still haven't seen Venom or Morbius. Subwoofers. Yeah.
He's an happy accident.
Yeah. It worked. It was neat. But again, like Tim has said, oh, come see Morbius or Venom, and I'm like, I'm just not. I don't need to see those movies, even on TV or a theater. I didn't need to feel it to see those. So I am curious what Tom really meant about whether he's anti-streaming. Because if he had done like Magnolia or Eyes Wide Shut, would he have wanted it to get out, and not been concerned with where he knew this needed to be seen on a big screen? So
I think, and again, because none of us are talking to Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he won't talk to us.
I think he's a guy. He's jumping, like I said, he's jumping out of airplanes. He's climbing these big ass buildings. He's riding motorcycles and doing all these crazy stunts and running and kicking and doing all this crazy stuff. He's 64, 65, right? Whatever. I think that he genuinely wants to protect the movie experience. That's just me. I think he knows he has more money than he needs, and everybody that around him is going to be taken care of. I really think that he just is that dedicated to the actual experience where he's like, nah, like I'm not going to CGI. Like he strapped himself to a damn plane. Like the directors and the producers were trying to talk him off the ledge. Like, listen, dude, you don't know what's going to happen. Like you could get up there, freak out, have a panic attack because you're like, oh God, I am really on an airplane, like off the ground flying. He did it. Right, it's not a green screen behind him. I think that a guy who's willing to go those lengths is kind of just like, no, I'm just. It's nothing against the money or streaming, but I want to protect movies in theaters, and I know that apparently, the trailer coincidentally because they knew that we were going to do a podcast on Tom Cruise today, they released the trailer for Mission Impossible, the next film. It's going to be a 2-part film. Allegedly, apparently, there was, and I'm not sure they're still having issues. There was issues between Tom Cruise and the studio because they were saying right off the bat, there's like that was it was going to go to streaming shortly after it hit theaters. Tom Cruise, I believe he's a producer on the film. That whole position aside, we know that he has a lot of star power, right? He can pretty much make a lot of things happen. And there was talk that he was actually holding up the conclusion of the second film, kind of like, you're not going to take this to streaming because I will make sure you don't get the second part of this film. If we have to go to court, X, Y, and Z, like we'll leave the fans waiting. But like he is like dead set on finding a fine line and boundaries between the movie theater experience and the streaming experience, from what it seems.
No, I mean, I agree with that, but I mean, to feed off Richard's point, I mean, not everyone can do that. I mean, you're not going to like. Again, 2020 and all the things that came out of it. I mean, things good, some things bad, but it gave a lot of people like streaming is a great thing because it gives access to millions of people right away. Again, it doesn't have the same movie experience, but not everyone can do that. I mean, Tom Cruise is in a fortunate position where he has a lot of star power and has money and probably has to Hollywood to be able to get these movies off the ground immediately just because he's attached to it, and then be able to hold it because he knows that it's going to do very well, obviously because of the experience he's crafting. But I mean, Disney has the same amount of money, and they didn't want to hold up their timetable on what they had planned for obviously Marvel. I mean, again, they had to kind of figure it out, and there were some missteps, especially with the whole, Scarlett Johansson thing, where she had a big lawsuit because that was a breach of contract. Because I don't think they saw the eventuality that this was going to happen, or be put in that position where they need to put in a streaming. Again, it's one of those things that like I feel like everyone's going to figure out. But to go to your point, Richard, about talking about like his quote, I mean, I feel like one of those staunch like moviegoers that wants people to enjoy the experience, and that's why I feel like he's going through these like all these trials and tribulations to be able to get this out to the moviegoers in that experience. And a lot of people are saying he's saving the film industry, or at least these movie theaters, to get people to come out to go to them again. Again, it's a dual-edged sword, because I mean, like being comfortable and relaxing in my own home and be able to eat and drink whatever I want. I have to pay $12-15 for a beer, which is crazy. But I do also enjoy the experience, and it feels like he's trying to get movies back to where they used to be, but it's a different world and it's much harder to do that. And to the point, I mean, you don't have to see every single movie in the theater. You can pick and choose. And again, I'm in the same camp. I'm definitely going to watch Morbius and Venom when it comes out to streaming instead of going to the theater, just based off of reviews, videos, reactions. But like movies like Doctor Strange, I want to go see it in the theaters. Obviously, we want to go see Batman because, I think our obsession with comic books and Batman, of course, and of steps of nature about what's going to happen in Batman 2. But, it's one of those, I feel like he's trying to do this in a good way, and maybe some people are taking it the wrong way, or maybe he has to do some things that are not normally what he would do to be able to make sure the moviegoer has that same experience and enjoys the movies the same way he would, or maybe most of the people in that position would.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say one thing real quick because I was thinking about it before we came on here when we were going to touch on the whole movie theater and streaming experience. And one thing I was thinking about was I remember it was a long week at work, and I came home on a Sunday night, and it was cold out, and it was a long week, whatever. And I was like, oh, wait, what was the name of the last James Bond film?
No Time to Die.
Yeah, No Time to Die. I was like, oh, it's right here. It's $40. I don't care. I don't care. And I paid the $40 and I watched it and it was awesome and I loved it. And I was like, I dig this whole going to streaming thing, right? I mean, the price is right? I think that's fair for going from the theater to the TV like immediately or rather quickly.
No, I mean, two tickets for you and Monica is $30, and you have to pay a sitter, or if you had to pay a sitter that time, or or as like Jordan said, you're gonna get a beer or so. Yeah, like right, like I think Black Widow was $30, and I was like, stop it, that's a steal for me to be able to see something, and really enjoy it, and and again for some, especially Shannon and I do this thing every year where we try to watch all the Oscar contenders, and again, it's so interesting in this discussion, like where I'm saying, like, and again, when we do this little game where I name all the summer movies, like, but when the Oscar movies, like, I kind of want to go to the theater and enjoy it in that experience. But then, like, there's somewhere it's like, yeah, listen, Shannon, like, Power of the Dog is $12, like, for me to rent on Amazon. Like, I'd rather do that, for some of these movies than, and it's funny because she'll automatically be like, I don't want to rent it. Like, so much cheaper than if we were to go there, like, and we don't have to worry about, does the time work for the movie? Does anything, so that's a nice option when, and with Oscar movies, they've become such a mixed bag of straight to Hulu, straight, like the big winner was straight to Hulu, 12 Power Dog was a tough one. But again, actually Power of the Dog might've been free on Netflix or something like. So that's interesting. I'm 100% okay with, and again, personal feelings for Tom Cruise or other actors aside, like, because again, this, without changing the topic too much, I think like everybody makes their opinion, like the last few years about like anti-superhero, like Martin Scorsese and other people who are like, stop it. Like,
yeah.
It's like when Godfather was coming out, when Mean Streets, like, when these big movies were coming out that were like cinema, like Jaws was out, Star Wars was out. Like, who do you think was driving people to the theaters? Like, you need both, like if you just had arty fun movies out of the, like, but it's just this weird thing. I don't know. I guess I think superhero comic book movies have this negative thing where it's like, no, like, and that's the point. There are people, if we had millions of people listening to us right now, we would have 100,000 people who would speak so highly of the Fast and Furious movies, which have just because, and even like the later ones, because they just have a good time with it, so that's my thought on that. So are you guys ready to play this clever? I'm going to make up the game as we go. So what do we want to call it? See it? Wait, I guess see it in the theater, wait for it, or pass, not going to watch it at all. Those three?
Yeah.
Come up with some clever names. Some fun. See it. See it. Wait for it. All right. So Top Gun. I think we've already all said.
Top Gun. See it.
Bob's Burgers coming out. Bob's Burgers coming out against Top Gun with 96% Rotten Tomato. Bob's Burger 97% Rotten Tomato.
See it. So, skip it. I
Yeah,
like
I-
that. See it, steak it, skip it.
Yeah. What did it say it again?
Tim said,
Oh,
British
thank
Tim,
you.
wait, stream it. See it,
Stream
stream
it.
it.
Yeah, see it,
skip
stream
I
it,
would have gone
skip
with the
it. Thank
steak it. I would have gone with the steak it, Tim, but still stream it.
We're gonna have to. Yeah. No,
Yes.
like steak it. Like you're gonna stay home, cook up a
Yeah.
steak.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
No,
ask
yeah,
Jordan for a wine recommendation.
Yeah,
What
you gotta
wine
put-
should we have with steak? What wine
wait.
should we have with steak?
But wait, also, what region goes best with Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Are we doing wine pairings with movies? Because I've been dying for this opportunity.
Yes. The whole right.
Okay? Come
All
on.
right, so Ryan and I will see it, steak it, skip it, and then you say expensive wine, Bartles and James, like
No, I'll
Mad Dog 2020.
I'll come up with give you a wine per movie. It's great.
That's perfect.
No,
All right. So Bob's Burgers is a stream it
Skip
or
it.
never say it. It's all right. June 10th, Jurassic World Dominion.
See it.
You gotta say that.
Listen, I'm right there with you, but we're going to start all over again because I have my reserves about Jurassic World and Jurassic World Dominion. But as a
Yeah.
lifelong Jurassic Park fan, I have to see it. Like I'm obligated, but I do have my reserves about the last two films.
And then
Yeah, I think that's and here's the thing. That is everything I just said about Top Gun goes with. But I'll be honest. I did not see the other two new ones in
You didn't
theater.
miss anything. You didn't miss
Neither.
anything.
I was
Give
saying
us anything.
we can pair this with wine from Barossa, Australia. Ryan, we can go with Shiraz. It's perfect summertime with a steak. Let's do it.
Let's
Perfect.
do it, baby.
All right, June 17th, Lightyear.
Okay.
Stream it.
Yeah,
Straight-
stream it, yeah.
See, right? Yeah, so I was gonna say, Ryan, you're in that different boat though, because if it's like it's a crappy rainy day, we want to do something with the kids. Have the boys been to the theater yet, or no?
No. And
June
actually,
17th
I was thinking
June 17th, too soon to bring those devils. Respectful.
No, you said it right the first time. But and then I was actually they do know because we put on Toy Story, so they do know
Okay.
who Buzz Lightyear is. But I don't know if you guys noticed he's a little more jacked and skinny this Lightyear,
Yeah, no, he's
So-
yeah.
so they might not.
I
get
think
it.
I think he's who the action figure will be based on eventually. But I want to see it, but I think I'll stream it because I don't think unless Monica went, because again I can see Monica going, yeah, we're not going because Ryan will stay and want to see the movie, and I'll be taking the boys to the restroom, and I'll be running Jade to get the Twizzlers. So all right, all right, June. Go ahead. Did you say, Jordan, what you were going to do?
No, I was gonna say let's pair it.
Yep, please.
Pair it.
Yep.
We're gonna pair that with Provençal style rosé, Ryan's favorite,
Oh, okay.
from southern part of France. Nice and easy to drink. We'll hopefully deal with the confusing plot of Lightyear, but we'll go with that.
All right. June 24th, Elvis. And not just any Elvis biopic, Elvis with Boz, how do I say it? Boz Lerman? Am I saying it wrong? Boz Lerman, who of course did the weird Romeo and Juliet, the weird Moulin Rouge. So it's going to be Elvis, Little Trippy. I want to see it. I might try to see it in the theater, but definitely stream it.
I'm gonna say I feel like it's one of those films because Monica. I feel like it's one of those films where we wouldn't be like, yeah, let's go see it, but then everybody kind of like, oh, did you see it? Yeah, it's actually pretty good, and then we end up watching it. So for me, it's probably gonna be a stream it, not going to the theaters though, not a skip it, but I feel like it's gonna come up in conversation.
And what will we drink with it?
So let's see. So Elvis took a lot of cues from black singers back in the day. So
Right.
South Africa.
Okay.
Ooh, yeah.
Let's go with little Cabernet Franc.
Oh,
Nice cool climate area. Maybe something from the Western Cape.
sounds
Listen.
perfect.
Not only does it sound perfect, I really appreciate the history you dropped with it too.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
Like Shanna, you need to Facebook friend Jordan right now, or because because honestly, Shanna was just like $10 wine. That's what I need. So maybe we can up the ante.
Yellowtail.
July 1st, Minions: Rise of Gru, the Gru origin story. Now this I think we've been waiting for a year and a half or longer too. And this is a movie they easily could have, I feel like, thrown at us in the theater, but we've been waiting a long time to get this in the theater. Same deal. Again, if I had the kids, it would definitely be something. But this will be probably 3 years from now when I see it on TNT or something. I might stop and watch it, but not watching it.
100%. If I didn't I don't have kids, I don't really intend to see it. If it's on like TNT, like Richard said, I'm just gonna see it if it's on and maybe watch a couple minutes of it and get bored.
Yeah, I'm on the fence because Jade likes the Minions, but I don't think I'm willing to pay to sit through it.
Might be mommy and daughter go to the movies.
Yeah, Monica, take her, baby.
July 8th.
The pairing is Yellowtail, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, what do we do? It's got to be a white one.
Yeah.
No,
Banana.
We're gonna go atypical. We're gonna go with Vino Verde from Portugal and northern Portugal. Let's do that. Right,
nice. That's good.
Somewhat confusing because it's semi-sparkling.
Yeah, sure.
Just like the Minions.
July 8th, Thor 4, which, goodness, Thor Love and Thunder. Somehow Thor got 4 solo movies. Thor Love and Thunder. Yeah, Thursday night before
See it.
Yeah, I feel like I need to see it.
Because I just want to say, I actually didn't mind. What was the Thor? The second one? The second Thor. I didn't
Dark
mind
World?
it. I took Alexis to see it. Like, it was entertaining, right? I'm not watching it 8 times, but it was worth. I enjoyed it. It didn't feel like a waste. But Ragnarok, I literally almost threw up laughing at a number of those scenes.
There are days that Ragnarok is my favorite. Like when it's on and I'm watching it, I'm like, this is my favorite superhero movie. Yeah. But yeah, and again, everybody's back. It looks like they're gonna have fun again. Throwing the Guardians in the mix, so that's a definite C for me. Now, it's what's weird here is the summer feels like it's slowing down. So July 15th, and now again, I think this Where the Crawdads Sing. Now, this is one that I think everyone in a book club has seen or heard of. It's apparently like a little mystery, weird girl living down south and gets accused of murder, and she's like the town outcast. So this is one I think that everybody in a book club has read, and this will be where the mom groups are going out to watch this movie. So I will probably not see it.
Monica can see it with Jenny. Skip it.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip that.
And again, Paul's Fury. Sorry, go ahead.
He's got a pair a very. Oh, see, on my desk for one of my summer reads.
I'm sorry. I apologize. My sober butt keeps forgetting you're drinking. Sorry, forgets your and not even drinking. Your suggestions of drink. I apologize. Yeah. So where do the Crawdads really? That's what are we doing with our Crawdads?
See, like you pair with Crawdads, you got to go like bright, easy drink white wine, or you have to just go like really like shitty beer. That's the two directions you got to go in. But if I'm imagining who the people that want to watch this, I'm imagining
Monica.
Like California Chardonnay, exactly from Monica.
White Claws.
White Claws, California Chardonnay is something super oaky, super buttery. There you go, Bob's your uncle.
July, we're in the middle of July now. July 22nd. Nope.
Is that what it's called?
No, it's called the new Jordan Peele. I'm sure you've seen the trailer, Ryan.
Oh, yeah. The farm one?
Like where something's happening, some weird, and it's just I think it's Kiki Palmer just going, nope. So I'll just save any time. I've loved Get Out, and I'm sure I would have loved the other ones, but I get too scared easily. So this will be a watch at home or wait till it's on TV because So it'll be a nope for me, but fully supported.
Yeah, it's probably. I mean, I want to see it in theaters. I know Jen's not going to want to see it because she does not like scary movies. She'll probably just read the Spark Notes or Cliff Notes to me, and then I won't see it either, unfortunately.
So Alexis and I, what was it called? Us? Was that the second one?
I can't remember. Yeah, this is us.
Alexis and I saw Us. I think I took her out of school and she was like, "Hey, can we go see this?" And I was like, "Yeah." We both really enjoyed it, and Alexis and I, that's like our thing, is movies. So I think that's definitely like a see it for us. That's like a father-daughter date.
So what do we drink with Nope? A story of Western black cowboys who encounter some sort of either alien or monster.
I would
And
say
Western, I mean, like all the way out of Hollywood Western.
yeah, we got to go with something that's seems very like unstory at first, and then takes an odd turn. So I'm thinking of this one particular. I actually have a particular producer in mind too. I'm thinking of Amore Rosso. This is from Brock Cellars in California. They make a carbonic Sangiovese. If you have Sangiovese before, same grape basically in Chianti. It's really high toned, a lot of acid, a lot of tannin structures, a lot of like savory herbs. Carbonic, and I know we don't have too much time to get into it. It's a way to make those wines brighter and fresher. Fruit structure is wine. So you're taking a wine that's usually really rich and heavy and full bodied and making it brighter and refreshing. So it's kind of messes with you a little bit because you're expecting one set of tastes when you're getting something completely different. This is a lighter but that you can drink equal to Pinot Noir, or the Amore Rosso actually has pictures of pizzas on it, so they pair it with pizza or things like that. So again, it kind of fits what we're going for with the movie.
How am I spelling Amore Rosso?
So it's AMOR and Rosso.
Oh my god, you're saying a like Amore Rosso.
Yep, like Amore.
Yeah, Amore.
Yeah. No, but it's one of those like it kind of messes with your head because carbonic is a way to make these wines bright and fresh and easy to drink and has a lot of life to it, and it's completely different than what you expect from Sangiovese. And Ryan
it's funny. You're saying all these sorry, I know they sound like, but it's affordable. That's that's a $25 wine. Yeah, that's affordable. Yeah. Shanna, write this down if you're still listening. I want to try a Amore Rosso Sangiovese because all it sounds interesting.
I was gonna say, what we should do?
Carbonic.
We got to do a podcast on my roof deck one day during the summer.
Yeah.
Yo,
drink some wine, yeah.
Go live.
And then you guys can make bets when I take a sip of the drink, with the face I make, or can I keep my face from going? Even if I like it, I still wind up making a face. But that sounds interesting. So Nope, but I'll drink the wine that goes with Nope. Friday, July 29th. So apparently this summer, if you got kids, DC League of Super Pets comes out Friday, July 29th. I am torn here. Did you know Superman, Batman, and other DC heroes all have pets? It screams something I want to see, but yeah. But again, it took me to the last week that Miles Morales was in theaters for me to see it, because I was like, I can't watch a cartoon in theaters, and then everyone was screaming about it. I don't think DC League of Super Pets is going to be multiverse, but yeah. So I think it's going to be a wait for me. But but if let's make this the boys' first movie, I might have to join you.
I was just about to say we can take the boys because I think you said July
29th.
They have two. That's 2 solid months to get it together. So maybe they'll figure it out and we can do it. We can make it happen. Hell yeah! What do we?
Super.
Where do you go?
Yeah, what do we do with Super Pets? Because you gotta be careful with pets drinking.
No way, Super Pets is anywhere near Spider-Verse. I agree.
That's a good
wait, look, what if we're surprised where it's like it's the summer hit and it's just like what? Like,
I don't know.
Keanu's Bat Dog, I think.
No, Keanu's
Dwayne
Batman.
Johnson is Super Dog or something.
Yeah, Keanu's Batman.
Stellar cast.
Yes, it is. Tim is also besides being having a really cool sound system, is a home brewer. So we should have Tim counter. We'll come back in a couple of weeks and counter with what homebrew. What that goes to good with Super Pet's good with a good IPA with I can't even pretend to know. I know less about beer than I know about wine.
We can do beers. Can I pair beers too? That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, of course.
I mean, this one you gotta go super. You're not going to want to really. Right. You might not want to pay attention to the movie too much. Invest it. So we'll go crazy and go with a barley wine, which is usually like 20-something% alcohol for a beer. Knock you out.
So for our last 3 weeks of the summer, I feel like I'm going to have to read the descriptions of the movies because I feel like there's a chance, and I'm only picking on Ryan because I know Jordan is very like up to date on things. I might have to read the descriptions because I think Ryan's going to be like, nope, haven't heard of that. So Bullet Train, based on a Japanese novel. It's an action comedy with Brad Pitt where he's on his last job. It looks amazing. That is yes, that is a scene theater for me.
Oh, 100%.
Hardcore see it.
I need to see
All
it.
right, what are we drinking then while we're there?
Sake!
No, you
wait, hold on. Wait, wrong region. Just nail me. I'm gonna end it right there. It was the wrong region. I insulted someone.
No, you're fine. Because Richard, if I'm right, it's based in Japan, right?
Yeah, it's based in Japan. Yep.
Oh, that's fine. We can do sake. We can do sake or do like a Japanese whiskey. I mean, if you're gonna drink sake, you got to drink Jumai Danginjo. It's the best rice and the best quality. And Jumai is basically like their organic kind of like level there for sake. Yeah, we can definitely do that. That'd be awesome. We should definitely meet up in person one day and then like taste some of the movies we're talking about.
Well, that's what I'm saying because I feel like because Jordan did a throwaway line earlier in the day of like, yeah, do I really want to go to a movie and have a $12 beer? And that's more of a Philly suburb thing than we get here in South Jersey. Like we don't have that. Yeah, like we just got.
Actually thinking, how times have changed.
Yeah, we might need to go visit you for one of these on your side of the street. Friday, August 12th. This is my first time hearing of this. The Man from Toronto, crime comedy caper starring Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson as a screw-up and a dangerous assassin who must team up to stay alive when they're mistaken for each other. So it sounds kind of Kevin Hart and Woody Harrelson. Actually, sounds like I didn't even know I needed to see that, but yeah, I also feel
exactly.
I'll be waiting to see that, but curious.
I'm curious about this as well because I was following him on Instagram and he was like filming this whole thing. It just feels like Kevin Hart's getting to the point where he's making whatever movies he wants because he's backing it, and it feels like like the late 80s, early 90s, where like you're like, okay, we'll put funny black comedian and then random actor and see what happens. like Money Train, Rush Hour, 48 Hours. I mean, like.
Well, I love Money Train. Everybody forgot about Money Train.
Well, as long as he doesn't do like a Beverly Hills Cop, I think I'm good. I mean, that's a classic.
That's happening.
But
Netflix
I feel like
is doing it, right? Beverly Hills Cop 4, it's definitely happening.
Yeah, but I feel like with Kevin Hart, you don't know what you're going to get, and I feel like I gotta wait.
Oh, inconsistent.
Yeah. Did you see his last movie he kind of did, where it was like very dramatic and very serious? I forget the name of it now. But
where he had to raise his daughter.
Yep. No.
The Philly one was with Walter White.
Yep.
Where like he was the caretaker, and then there was another one after that where he had to help raise his daughter, and he was a single dad raising his daughter, and like I think so. Yeah, he's tried a couple things, but
yeah.
But then he also did Night School. He also did Night School with Tiffany Haddish, and So.
Oh yeah.
And more people probably saw that. What'd you say? Central Intelligence.
But the movie
that is a come on TNT, and I kind of leave it on in the background because it's corny and dumb, him and the Rock are good together.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we got to get to August 19th. Beast, Idris Elba, and Sharlto Copley, about a man visiting a game reserve in South Africa with his daughters, who become prey to a dangerous lion that begins stalking them. That feels like Liam Neeson would have done that role like about 5 years ago. So, I don't know why Idris is slipping. So that is a skip for me, but it is happening in a South African, game reserve. So let's hear what wine we're going to drink with Beast.
Let's go classic South African. We're gonna go Pinotage, which is a combination. It's a combination grape between Pinot Noir and it's weird because it's made in so different ways. But the one I really like is from producing in Intellego, Talagasha. It's like a Beaujolais, like it's bright, fruity, easy to drink, but goes against traditional convention where they're making Pinotage like Cabernet, and it doesn't really come out as good. So I'm
going to skip the last 2 weeks of August because And I kind of forget this happens in August. They just kind of throw movies at you. So I'm gonna
make it.
Yeah, I'm gonna end with this one, which we're not going to start a whole new podcast on. What's our interest level on the new Avatar movies?
See it. I know that's always a mixed one for people.
I am so torn. I remember loving the look of the first one, and again, I didn't hate the story of the first one, but I don't know. Maybe it's been so long. I'm not ready. I'm not ready
either. I was so excited, and then I was like, M. Night Shyamalan's do it, and I was like, the aired out pen, and I was like, oh my god, this might be like The Happening. And I was like, oh,
wait, what'd you say?
The Happening?
No, it's James Cameron.
Well, James Cameron.
He's talking about the sequel to the Blue Avatars.
I went completely.
No, is there an M. Night Shyamalan movie named? Is M. Night doing the anime Avatar?
He did the live action.
He did the last one. Sorry, he did the last Airbender.
Yeah, he did the last Airbender, the Avatar of that, and it was terrible. James Cameron one, I don't know what to think about it. He's putting crazy amount of time into it, and the effects look great. And I saw the first movie, I was like, oh, this is great. But when you see like random plot holes, like the mineral they're looking for is called unobtainium. Really? Is it right next to the is right next to the mineral called hard-to-getium? Like, I don't understand. But
and one of my friends, every time it comes up, says they use their prehensile ponytails for both sex and controlling animals, and I don't care for that. So again, like that's not a great. How are you going to sell? How are you going to sell? How are you going to sell the kids on going to see it? Hey, they're going to have ponytails. So that's one where if Jade's like, "Daddy, can we put my hair in a ponytail?" No, we're not putting your hair in a ponytail.
No more ponytails.
You're wearing your hair straight.
Sorry. No more ponytails. She like takes her ponytail and she has her unicorn stuff. I'm like, no.
You know what? Short hair would be so much cooler in the summer. That's what we're doing.
I did, however, wait in line with Alexis for the Avatar ride at Animal Kingdom. Badass. That's all I'm gonna say. But
I have heard that. I've heard it's pretty awesome. So
yeah. I'll wait till it comes out on streaming.
Well, so that list of summer movies, like they, and again, this might also be a case where they're still a little gun shy.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, and it's funny. I was talking to you guys like you don't live in the area. Like in my area, cases are rising like crazy. I don't know if Monica's mentioned like half of the teachers are in both our schools are out with COVID. Like things are crazy. So I could see it affecting a little bit. The numbers, but hopefully it gets under control before the main hit of the summer. But it feels like there would be 2 or 3 big movies in there that I don't quite, aren't there. So
yeah, it's like this. Tom, cases are rising. We're heading towards the danger zone.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He said, "I'm on my." He's like, "I'm going to take the highway to get there." And he's going to say, and then but then he's going to say, "What's the worst thing that happens with COVID?" He goes, "Take my breath away."
Oh my god!
Sorry, is there a third big song from that movie? Oh no, you lost that lovely taste and smell, feeling. So it's weird. Top Gun is very COVID positive. So yeah. So either way, we'll be here to talk about those movies and how drunk we got pairing the wine that we did with it.
Yes, we definitely should get together and watch a movie, and I'll pair the wines. Because one of my favorite pairings was I paired California Chardonnay from Blancmont with the Prestige. It was called Abracadabra.
All right, so I mean, we're ready for the summer movies. I have my tickets for Top Gun Tuesday. I am ready to go. We talked a whole lot about Tom Cruise, and it was absolutely awesome catching up with Richard and Jordan. But I think there's only one way to go out this evening, and I'm just going to play it a little bit. So, but before we do that, so that's good night from us, everybody. And
thanks to our listener.
Thanks to all our listeners. And Tom Cruise is going to be our outro because it doesn't matter at this point if Richard has to check back in because we're already doing it. Here we go. Tom Cruise's greatest performance ever.
It really might be. He looks like a Robot Chicken character right now. I don't think anyone else can hear him. You hear music on your side, Ryan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just you.
All right, everybody.
They say, move, get out the way, move.
We'll see everybody later. Take care.
Bye, everyone. Enjoy the movie, Ryan.